Hello there and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be giving you a review of the new Transformation palette, which was created by Makeup Revolution in collaboration with Alexis Stone. So Alexis Stone is a UK based makeup artist. He is famous for doing absolutely amazing transformations into celebrities. He is actually from Manchester, which is the same place that I'm from, so I'm very proud of him, of course, putting Manchester on the map. Although I think maybe some other things have done that, like Manchester United, but they're crap now, so like Manchester City is keeping them on the map. I was going to say the Beatles, but they're from Liverpool. Liam and Noel Gallagher. I mean, let's just pretend Manchester's on the map of the world. So Alexis Stone released 2 eyeshadow palettes with Makeup Revolution. One of them is called the Instinct palette, and that features 28 matte, very colourful eyeshadows. And the other smaller palette, I call it the little sister palette, is called the Transformation palette. And this palette features 7 topper shades. Okay, if I'd known that these were topper shades, I probably wouldn't have bought it, honestly, because I just feel like, I don't know, do we need toppers? Do we need them? I don't know if I need them in my life. I've got eyeshadow palettes. I like the shades in the eyeshadow palettes. I don't feel like I have enough eyelids to have a palette full of topper shades. But I mean, anyway, we're here now. So this palette costs £10, and the larger palette, which is called Instinct, costs £23, which is part of the reason why I went for this palette, because I'm a budget bitch. Like, really, I was really keen to try one of the palettes out, because let's face it, Alexis Stone hyped this motherfucker up like he really did, guys. If you're not familiar with this, a while ago, like, this has nothing to do with the palette, but I'm just gonna like bring you up to date. You probably know, but I'm going to tell you anyway, so that I can just tell you like my thoughts on this, because it was a rather big disappointment, honestly. But Alexis Stone did this whole kind of hugely intricate and probably quite expensive prank where he pretended that he'd got some really intensive kind of face altering plastic surgery done, and then he kind of kept up the whole kind of prank, if you like. He just kind of kept it up for months, and then finally he came out and said, ta-da, I was only fucking around. And that was kind of good. Like, people were like, oh my gosh, wow, you're a magician, this was amazing. And do you know what, I did actually think that's pretty good. I like it. Something we've not really seen before, keeping all those makeup junkies on our toes. But 2 weeks before the release of this collab with Makeup Revolution, he was kind of hyping it up, and he kind of made it out to be something about him and his twin. So then a lot of people online were hypothesizing, theorizing. That was my stab at trying to sound articulate and intelligent, and it failed, but okay, whatever. We're now back to where we were all along, with everybody knowing that I'm not articulate and intelligent. But he was kind of hyping this up, and everyone was like, oh my gosh, Alexis Stone, he is the prank king on Instagram. What's he got in store for us this time? And a lot of people were speculating that potentially he had actually had all of the plastic surgery done, and then it was his twin who had been kind of keeping up appearances. But anyway, it just turned out that he was doing a collab with Makeup Revolution, so it's a bit of a bummer, honestly. Like, I don't know, we were prepared for a lot and we got nothing. But anyway, guys, so because this is a topper palette, I was thinking, how do I review this? Because usually when I get an eyeshadow palette, I kind of create a look, we do some swatches, and then I give some feedback at the end. But because this is a fucking topper palette, like, I don't want to be disrespectful to topper palettes, but I don't know, I think you love topper palettes or you don't love topper palettes. I've actually been wearing this palette for the past 3 days since I got it, just so that I can actually, you know, try out as many of the shades as possible, see how long they wear for, and just get a really good feel of the eyeshadows so that I could give you a really kind of comprehensive review. So that's exactly what I've been doing. So I am going to go ahead. I'm going to show you the swatches. I'm going to show you the footage that I filmed, and then I'm going to come back at the end. We're going to create a little bit of a look, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on the palettes. We're creating a look. So I'm going to cut to the swatches now so that you can see them, and then see the other footage, and I'll be back. I promise, or maybe I won't, but I will. I actually thought the swatches were quite disappointing, honestly, and I think in the back of my mind I was like thinking that these were like shimmers, but then I just kind of kept reminding myself, no, girlfriend, no, they are toppers, which means that they're never really going to be that opaque. They're always going to be quite sheer. So, you know, when I kept that in my mind, like, I wasn't disappointed. It was kind of strange as well, because usually I find that if you use flash with shimmer swatches, they look as good as they could ever look. Whereas I found that flash with these swatches dulled them down, and they actually looked so much better, and you could really see the duochrome element and the colour shifting more without flash. These shadows are absolutely packed full of glitter. I got covered in glitter even after I'd removed the swatch with a wet wipe. There was just glitter all over me, and I can't say that I hated it, because I didn't. I loved it. But yeah, I think the shades are nice. I'm just not into toppers. Oh my gosh, I'm just not into toppers, guys. Anyway, so I'm going to show you the footage now so that you can see how I've been kind of playing around with these over the last couple of days. Okay, so I applied the topper shades this morning, as you saw. It's now the end of the day. I didn't use an eye primer, I just used the Creme de Rose. It's kind of like an eye base kind of thing, but technically it's not a primer. Like, it doesn't claim to increase the longevity of eyeshadows or anything. But I would say that I think everything looks good. Still looking nice. It looks very glittery indeed. So yeah, after the first day of wear, like, I'm kind of impressed, but just not blown away. I just don't understand the idea of toppers, but I'm not going to go on about that now, because I'm probably going to mention that elsewhere in the video, I would imagine. But anyway, just wanted to give you an update on what I think after wearing this eyeshadow for, I'd say, 7+ hours about. So I'm going to try the blue one today. It's actually later on in the day. So this morning I tried, I think it was, sorry. Oh, how can I show you this? So these two I put on this morning. You can definitely still see the glitter. So this one has a green shift and this one has a blue shift. But yeah, we're going to try this blue one now. I am just about to get my makeup off, because I've had this makeup on all day, and you know, when you get that feeling in the evening, you're just like, like for me, as soon as I get in the house, the bra comes off and the makeup comes off. But not today, because we went to Wagamama, so the makeup's been on. But by the way, I've just realised this mirror, it does not have a mirror. What did I? Oh guys, I'm going crazy. This fucking palette does not have a mirror, is what I was trying to say. By the way, I would say that these eyeshadows are fairly long lasting. Can you see that? They are very sheer, like very, very, very sheer. They apply nicely. I would definitely recommend using your finger to apply. I feel like you get the most kind of, you know, pizzazz. I'd definitely say that these eyeshadows are quite like textured. They're not the smoothest to the touch. Look at that. I mean, it looks nice. It does look really, really nice, actually. And I do think you can kind of easily build this up. So, okay, right. Actually, I say easily. I actually don't know how easily. I think it would take a few, you know, dips in. I think you need to be, you know, dipping. Dipping. Do you know, it doesn't actually spread very well at all, actually. I mean, really. So I'm going to actually lick my finger. Yes. And I'm going to dip that back in again. Okay. I feel like I took some off. What? Do you know what? I feel like this purple or blue. What would you call this? Like purple or blue? I'd call it like a royal. I don't even know. Yeah, it's a royal blue. It has a like pink shift in it because you can kind of see. Can you see the pink shift? Yeah, I can definitely see a pink shift. It actually looks really, really nice. So anyway, I'm just kind of tapping it on. So this is what it looks like, and I like it. Like, I really, really approve. I do feel like, you know, the majority of the shadows in this palette that I've tried are toppers. They're quite sheer, but I do think that this blue could definitely be used by itself as a standalone eyeshadow. So I'll just finish applying. This is like legitimately the most savage application I've ever done in my life. Just to show you, if you wanted to use this as a topper, you know, you could go for this look, but personally I think this looks kind of shit, so I would not do that. But then, you know, if you just kind of build it up, you can get a little bit more of an opaque finish. Do you know what? I told Tony that I was going upstairs to take my makeup off, and then he's probably downstairs now just like listening to me just like chatting away, thinking, oh my gosh, Anwen's definitely gone crazy this time. I feel like it's a little bit patchy. Do you know what I mean? But do you know what? I can't complain because I actually really, really like the shade. Like, I'm feeling this, but it does take a while to build it up. Like, you do need to use quite a lot and go in quite a few times, you know, to get it. I don't know what it is. Okay, so guys, I'm gonna wet my finger again. Oh my gosh, that was a little bit too sexual, actually. I'm sorry about that, guys. Okay, so I feel like wetting your finger definitely brings out the pink kind of shift in this blue eyeshadow. I don't know why that is, but you can definitely see the pink, like, after I lick my finger. And I know some of you guys are going to be saying, Amanita, like, you should not be licking your finger, really. But then I say, well, like, it's my finger, so I know where it's been today. And it's fine. I mean, I'd say fine. This is the finished look. I like it. I like it. I know it's really, like, rudimentary right now. This is not how I would leave the house, but I need to go to bed, guys, honestly, and I just wanted to show you like what it looks like, so you can, I just want to show you as many of these shades as possible and play around with them to be able to give you like the best review ever. But anyway, guys, so here we go. Blue river without you alone. Anyway, guys, okay, boy. Okay, so now that you've seen all of that, I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to apply maybe one or two of these to my lid so that you can kind of see them in action and see what they look like, because I acknowledge that the lighting was not great in the previous footage. I was filming first thing in the morning and I was tired. Did you see my foundation lips in the first clip? I mean, really, girlfriend, I should not have even put that on YouTube, but I did. So anyway, guys, so today I'm going to use one of the shades that I've not used yet. I'm going to go in with this one here. It's a duochrome, so it kind of shifts between being a purpley kind of red and a icy blue. So I am just going to use my finger. I have tried using brushes with these shadows, but because they are quite textured and quite loose, they don't really pick up that well with a brush, and you also need to use your fingertips so that you can use quite a bit of force with pressing the shadow into the skin to get the most out of it. Otherwise, like, I'll show you. I'm going to show you. So I've got my brush here and I'm going to just go in using a brush. Okay. So you definitely get something, but it's more of like, I would call this a wash of glitter. You don't really get any of that metallic shine that you get with your finger. Also, just to mention as well that if you use a wet finger, then you definitely get a lot more, but I mean that's always the case with any shimmer. Excuse me guys, like that was my porridge coming back up. But yeah, you do get that with anything. So I am going to go in with my finger. It feels kind of rough and, as I said, just quite textured. This is what she looks like on my finger. Can you see how much more you get, you know, with the finger application than with the brush? So I do really, really like this shade. I think it's beautiful. I actually think this would look really, really gorgeous over a matte black eyeshadow. So I do think, you know, if you love the idea of toppers, or you just love the idea of maybe like you've gone into work with your everyday work makeup, but then you're going out to an all-night rave after work, but you don't really want to bring a lot of makeup with you and you don't want to redo your makeup, these would potentially be ideal for that, for taking your look from a conservative day look to a I'm a skanky little hoe nighttime look, you know. I'm just going to keep applying this. I do find that these eyeshadows, or the ones that I've used anyway, build up nicely. You can definitely get them looking quite opaque, but because the shadows are quite textured and loose, I did find that on a couple of them, particularly the two lighter shades, they did leave my lid looking a little bit chunky. They kind of clung on to every little line. I don't want to say wrinkle, I'm just going to say a line because it makes me feel better. But yeah, they can look a little bit chunky. But again, if you use the wet finger, I do find that reduces the chunkiness, you know. So, okay, so anyway, as I'm kind of putting this on as well, like I can feel it up on my lid, which, you know, I'm not loving. I feel like this is almost like, you know, if you have lace lingerie, so like you're wearing something but you can see through it. I kind of feel like that's the look, you know, on the lid. Like you can still kind of see my lid kind of skin colour underneath, but then you have this glitter show on top. So it just depends, like if this is something that you feel you could get down with, something that you could incorporate, you know, into your makeup, then, you know, I don't think it's a bad palette. And I don't want it to seem like I'm just being completely disrespectful to toppers, but maybe if I was like, you know, back at uni when I used to go to lectures during the day and then just go out on all-night raves at the night time, maybe like this palette would have been a great one to have just popped in my bag, you know. And because you can apply it with your fingers as well, you don't need a brush, you could get away with just bringing this palette and a spare bra, because I don't know about you, but when I used to go out partying, I would always lose my bra. I just don't know how that happened. But okay, so I'm just going to apply my third layer here. You do have to be careful for glitter fallout. I kind of like it, like I can't argue with a bit of glitter on my face, but yeah, there's quite a lot of like loose glitter in these shadows. So guys, next I'm going to wet my finger to show you the difference. So I'm going to use my Revolution Glow Fix setting spray. I really like this one. It's slightly illuminating and it gives you like a really dewy glow. I've got it on today. It does feel a little bit sticky. You know, like Fix Plus makes your face feel refreshed and hydrated. This one does have a slightly sticky feel to it, but it's a lot cheaper than Fix Plus, so you know, I can forgive it. So anyway guys, we have a wet finger and we are going in. Okay, so there we go. Now can you see we have a much more intense glow, I feel. You can really see that blue, and I find that as well for best results, if you kind of let that dry and then go in with some dry product with a dry finger, then it just looks bombastic. Here's my finger. I don't know, I felt the need to show you my finger, but here she is. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to do the other eye, I'm going to do my mascara, and then I'll be back and I'll just give you my final thoughts on the palette. But I feel like I've pretty much done that already because I've just kind of got carried away. Okay, so just because I have a really bad habit of getting carried away, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to apply this shade over the top. So this looks like it's just a white shimmer, but it actually has a purpley bluey kind of shift to it. I also did just want to mention before I forget that visually I feel like this shade and almost this shade look very, very similar, but they do have different shifts. So this one at the end is a very pale pink. This one in the middle has that shifty kind of blue purple kind of chameleon effect, and then the one at the end has a greeny shift. Not that you can see so well right now, but they are different, but they look very similar in the pans. So I'm going to go in with this one just to pop over the top. I mean, this is a fun palette, you know, to play around with. I don't really feel like that's done much though, so it's very disappointing. Do you know what? I might just go in with a little Souchon. Why not? Just over my highlighter as well. I mean, I did see a promotional picture that I think Alexis Stone put on his Instagram. I think that this palette is meant to be kind of multifunctional, so you can use it on your lids, but you could also use it on your lips. You could use it as a highlight. You could actually create, I feel, some really artistically creative kind of quirky looks with this. I definitely do feel like you could use it as a highlighter, maybe if you're getting dressed up as like a glowy, sassy nymph vampire for Halloween. It could be good. But anyway, guys, so I'm going to just finish off the look. I'm going to put my eyelashes on. I'm putting my mascara on, but in a way I'm putting my eyelashes on. Anyway. Okay, so this is the final look. I did go ahead and get a little bit of mascara on my cheek. I did. Now that's all I can see, but if you can pretend that you cannot see it, that would be great. Okay, so in conclusion, after having used this palette for a few days, I think that for what it is, and for the fact that it costs £10, I think it's a nice palette. Like, I can't really find any faults with it at all. It does what it says on the tin. If it called itself a shimmer palette, however, I would be up in arms and I would be ranting and raving, probably falling off my chair. I'd be annoyed because it's definitely like, this is not a shimmer palette, but it's a topper palette, and if that's what you want, then yeah, I think you'll be quite happy with it. But it's just like, as a personal preference kind of situation, it's not for me. Like, I probably won't be using it like ever, if I'm honest, because I've got like actual eyeshadows that look just like this that I really, really like. So why do I don't need these. Like, I think they're pretty. I can respect them, but I don't want to put them on my eyelids again. Honestly, my favourite thing about this palette was the glitter that was left over after I had wiped the swatches away. I just felt like I'm living my Twilight fantasy right now. I felt like that main guy. Like, I don't even like Twilight. I'm not into any of the Twilight films, but I love that moment of, it was like my skin was just like glistening from the inside, and that was like a really special moment for me. But yeah, this palette, it's not for me. Don't think there's anything inherently wrong with it. If you want a topper palette, if you know what you're getting into and you're fine with that, then I think you'll be quite happy. It's just not for me. Also, I've just realised I completely forgot to discuss the packaging. So I actually think it's really, really nice. It feels high quality. Definitely higher quality than the usual Makeup Revolution packaging. I think it looks really sleek, stylish. It doesn't have a mirror, which is a slight disappointment, like not really for me, but like if you're obsessed with mirrors you would be disappointed that there's not one in here. But I don't think it's like a huge issue really, because I always use my skanky little mirror anyway. But anyway guys, so yeah, congrats to Alexis. I think well done. I mean, I must say though, just like being completely honest between me and you, the other palette he released, the Instinct palette full of the mattes, like I don't think it's anything groundbreaking. And personally I would have loved to have seen like just one cohesive palette, so like a palette that had some shimmers and some mattes with a bit of a colour story going on. I think I would have like not just expected, but I think I would prefer to have seen that as opposed to a colourful matte palette, which we've kind of seen a million of them at this point, and then this kind of topper shindig, you know what I mean? But I mean, that's just me guys, and not knocking Alexis, although I was very disappointed with the anticlimax to his hype, you know what I mean? But anyway guys, I'm going to go. I hope that this review has been somewhat helpful to you. If you have bought this palette or the other palette, the Instinct palette, if you could let me know what were your thoughts, and I will be back soon with more videos. Bye.